Hey, thanks for checking out Four Finger Discount. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more Simpsons videos. Hey guys, welcome to Four Finger Discount, the podcast that is apparently now brought to you by UE Insurance. I'm Dando.
And I am Guy, and we are very, very fortunate to be joined today by the star of Going Down Under, Ed Kavalee.
Great to be here. Thank you for a full retrospective there from what was originally called Meat Pie now to my work selling insurance, and thank you all. No, good to be here. I'm a big Simpsons fan. I started, of course, at the 6:30. The Sunday nights on Channel 10. And then through the repeats at 6 p.m. And then, of course, as a lot of people know, I worked in a thing that used to exist called a video store.
Yeah.
And we had all of the seasons on video, but I didn't need them because I'd already taped them off the TV myself. And I would watch them incessantly, just over and over and over again. And now my son is only, you have children and a son of a similar age. I have a 7-year-old son who has found it. Yes, I know, who has found it on Disney Plus. And he is now he started at the start and we're watching them together.
How great is that, right? When you see
great. Unbelievable.
I'm watching it with Ellie, and there's gags that I didn't get when I was a kid, and
Same.
I watch it now. Yeah, it's so much. It's almost like you watch the show brand new again.
It's just wonderful. And to hear him, the things that he laughs at versus the things I laugh at versus exactly what happened. And the episode we're going to talk about today, part of the reason I chose it is because watching him watch that episode, there was a joke in there that I'll talk about that I didn't get until this viewing. And I have seen this episode 20 times. Not 20. I've seen it 10 times over 30 years.
Oh, yeah, more than that probably. Yeah, but it's fantastic. I did it the same thing. There was a gag where I went, I don't remember ever hearing that. And if I did, I didn't get it. Yeah.
And that's the skill of the show. And it's also, for us who all have young children, it's a weapon against YouTube humor. Because he's desperate to watch what can only be described as fuckwits yelling on YouTube. And I say to him, he likes watching sport highlights and they're on YouTube, so we'll watch it together and they'll bleed into, I tried 100 different, baseballs and then just a series of fuckwits yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And I just, no, stop that and put on this, because comedy education is why I'm sitting here right now, through the people that I had in my life that got me to go, no, you're not watching that. You're not watching, Thailand's craziest bus crashes again. Why don't you watch The Simpsons, and why don't you try With Now and I, et cetera, et cetera. So I know it seems ridiculous, but it's important to try and keep alive the idea that comedy is, people actually come together, have an idea, work hard on it, really hard, and can be rewatched over and over again. That's important.
Ed, this sounds very noble and very righteous. I agree 100% with everything you're saying. It does sound like there's a bit of Frank Grimes leaching into your personality here.
But that's the other part that I've sort of, the people who know me, Limo, who is a wonderful comedian and is the nicest guy in the known universe. He's welcome everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, everyone's just happy to see him. And he's very much the Homer to my Frank Grimes, where we'll have a discussion. We do another podcast called You're Not Going to Like This, where we get people, well-known people, and we try and break their algorithms by trying to get them to watch something that they would never normally watch and see if they can find some joy in it.
It's a great idea.
And I'll often be ranting about something, and I'll get to the end of my rant, and he'll just be staring at me with a smile and go, so you've never thought of that? And he'll say things like, no, Ed, I never stopped to consider whether Justin Timberlake could afford Air Jordans when he said that in the Last Dance documentary. I was just enjoying Michael Jordan. And that's the pedantry of Frank Grimes. I think is a great descriptor of the world that we live in. There's two types of pedantry. There's the pedantry that you guys exude, which is pick something you love and explore it and entertain it and celebrate it, which is wonderful. Or there's the other type of pedantry, which is go online and just tear things apart as much as you possibly can.
Hate watching.
Find as many nits as possible and pick the hell out of them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And entertainment has sort of, in a lot of ways, Marvel's a perfect example. People go on about Marvel. I don't like those films. But the main reason I don't like them is they seem to almost be designed to be announced at Comic-Con, discussed on message boards, and then re-announced on Comic-Con, where they either say, sorry, we got that wrong. Now here's something that you do like. Or, yeah, we meant that. When you like that bit, we meant that. And here's more of it. It's just a sad feedback loop. Where it's just, anyway.
There's a great line that's been sort of repurposed by many a podcast, but it comes from a channel called Red Letter Media, where they were sort of taking the Mickey out of nerd podcasters and video guys, YouTube guys, where the guy was basically saying, don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product. It's like, and that's pretty much it when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars and all these franchises that seem to be filled with boundless imagination and now just sort of coming attractions for the next thing.
Yeah, and you know what's good about it is, as usual, The Simpsons got there first. What, comic book man, what are we talking? 35 years ago now?
Yeah, 1991, 90.
I didn't know what that was. That's the other great thing about The Simpsons is how many of their characters get better with time. How much, even though Monty Burns is a great character at the start, sort of based on Rockefeller and all those old school, how amazing is he as a couldn't care less about anyone billionaire character now?
Yeah.
How good is he?
It's almost more relatable now than it was in 1991.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Do you think The Simpsons influenced your comedy in any way? Or your sense of humor maybe in any way?
1,000%, because it was designed that way. And as you know, and you've had a few different guests on that have said this, is it's shorthand. When someone says a Simpsons reference and you get it, you're already one step closer to being friends and simpatico.
Yeah.
It's such a shorthand way into a style of humor. And as usual, just the other day, I was with Working Dog, the Tommy Gleisner and Rob Sitch, and Tom being Tom. Tom's on TikTok, right? But he's a voyeur on TikTok.
Wait, what?
No, because I said yes. I know you like to watch reaction videos of rap, but what else do you like? And he goes, no, Ed, typical Tom. He's like, no, there's actually a lot of really good comedy writers on there that dissect jokes. And because Tommy's attention span is, as short as it can possibly be, because he's got 3 books to write. And so we're standing there, and Rob goes, oh yeah. And Rob just pulls up on his phone a short Simpsons clip, just one joke from The Simpsons. Yeah. And we all laugh. One of the ones where Homer's talking to the FBI. And then we all laugh, and then we just get on with our day. Mm. And so it's still happening. And you go, all right, if it's good enough for them, then it's good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, so many people just share Simpsons clips. Their account is purely just sharing Simpsons clips, and they've got like 200,000 followers.
And they should, because that's nothing but net. That is nothing but net,
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying, why exactly did you pick Homer's Enemy? Like, is this an episode that you enjoyed back when it first aired, or is it just one you've come to appreciate over time?
So the first thing that tipped me off to it, to rewatch it, was a few years ago when Chuck Klosterman brought out his book, The 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a little sidebar in there. It's an interesting book if people like to hear it, even if you didn't live through the 90s, is he talks about Falling Down, the Michael Douglas film Falling Down, and about how it's a sort of a small film, but it had what he calls an outsized influence on culture. And it had, a Foo Fighters video. There was a Metallica song, I think I might have got the band wrong, and a Simpsons character. And I was like, oh yeah, Frank Grimes. Oh yeah, he looks like Michael Douglas from Falling Down. I better rewatch that. So I did, and when I rewatched it, you go, right. This is as pure we know what we're doing, we know what we're getting at, and let's try and flip something fundamental in the show and see if we can make it funny. Let's get someone who's the opposite of Homer, who hates him for how easy he has things. And what's that going to do for the rest of the show? And that's why I love it. Because it's just pure. It's pure.
I came up with this awfully wanky line when I was rewatching it. There's a lot of talk about breaking the fourth wall. Shows will break the fourth wall and acknowledge the audience. This is like breaking the fourth wall inwards.
Yeah. It's like they know. They also know at that point the discourse around Homer, that the show switched to be about him from Bart. They know that. They know that there is an inherent ridiculousness to the fact that he has this giant house.
He's been to space.
He's been to space. Like they're commenting on the idea of the storylines they've have to come up with, and who would find that the most galling. And it's a guy who has never had who's never had a break in life at all. And he would shit you. Homer is like, in a weird way, those Instagram, lifestyle people where they're just on jets, and it's that.
Yeah.
And Frank Grimes is everybody else on the tram going, fucking how the fuck do they have that? That it's that. They got that. They're miles ahead with that.
I don't have $200K to invest in shit, mate.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I don't know what your crypto coin's called, but I don't have money to give it to it. So
why aren't I a Lambo guy? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It speaks to that. It's just out of reach, or how did they get that? Element of it's, and also, of course, as always, it's just so funny. It's just so funny. Like the callback, the dog at the start.
Oh my God, I love that.
Monty Burns wants Homer because he, wants Frank Grimes because he's seen an inspirational story of him on television, and then wants a dog who's done something inspirational the next day. Second callback is then the dog's walking with them in the hallway with the little sash on as junior vice president. And then when Frank Grimes gets in trouble, the dog's barking at him.
Yep.
You're just like, that is just so clean. 1, 2, 3.
A job that he didn't want in the first place.
Yeah, a job he did. It's just 1, 2, 3, bang. That's just so clean. And my son laughed at that.
Yeah.
My son was like, there's the dog, and laughed. And I was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. The third one he really laughed at. There's the dog. I'm like, yeah, there's the dog.
Yeah.
Rule of threes. But it hits the ground running this episode as well, because, I'd forgotten that it opens with Ken Brockman's news report. And even before you get to Ken's people, it's like, which if true means death to us all. And now time for Ken's people. It's like...
And that's such a Simpsons joke.
It really is.
That's such a Simpsons joke for them to go, all right, here's one on the way in, then some story, and then right, here's a few on the way out. Yeah. That's such a Simpsons thing to do.
And one thing I've loved is just when they say abandoned at the age of 4 by his parents, and then they filmed themselves driving away.
I'd never realised that they're filming it.
That's one of those ones where you go, all right, we have to do it. It's animation, but it's
they're all
funny.
in. They're clearly all in.
They're all in. How are we going to show this? What do we got?
Yeah.
That'll do nicely,
And I think this is an episode that sort of hits differently when you see it at different ages as well. I think when you've got a few more miles on the meter, you look at it and you go, oh, man. You're either relating to Homer or you're relating to Grimy. Depends on your state of mind at the time, your state of life, whatever. But it's a very versatile episode.
I remember when I was a kid, I did not like Grimes at all. And then when I rewatched it recently, I was like, you know what? I'm actually more like Frank Grimes than I realized.
And therein lies the beauty of it. And that's only because they've been going so long that...
And also he's been working with me.
Yeah, there you go. But it's designed that way. It's designed for you to go... And also the B story of Bart owning a factory. They only do it like 3 or 4 times because they want to have a B story. But you go, holy moly, they are going right at the death of American... sort
exceptionalism
and manufacturing.
Oh yeah,
and the idea that the types of jobs that Grimy and Homer have may not still exist. So there's a factory that you can own and gone.
Yeah,
and now you go, well, that is now the case. And then when they need something, they go, all right, we need something to set Grimes off. What are we going to do? All right, Homer's going to win a contest for children to design a better nuclear power plant, and of course, Martin comes up with the one that
actually powers the.
We're powering this room right now. Get out! And then it's just, I don't know. As pound for pound as an episode, I think it's personally. I love if you say what's your favorite episode, and you ask people, it's like, I'll give you my top 200 and we'll reel it down from there. But just if you're trying to say to someone, all right, why is this show good? This is one where you go, watch this. That guy's dumb. That guy works hard. It's like you said before. It's like, there's something for everyone. Everyone's relating to something in this.
Yeah. Do you think you can enjoy this one as much if you're not a diehard Simpsons fan, though?
Nah. No. This is one for us.
Yeah.
This is one for us, which is great. Because the thing I hate in The Simpsons, and this is, probably says more about me. I hate the heart. I hate heart.
Oh.
I hate it.
Okay.
It drives me up the wall. It's the one remnant of their shows that they always reference of All in the Family and all of those things where they feel as they have to do it. You hear the music change and I go, oh, God's sake. We know you love each other. Like, we get it. The only good one is when Marge, Princess Jasmine, I'm going to the back seat of the car with my wife and I won't be back for 10 minutes.
That was the bowling instructor.
Yeah, and they're all cheering.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only bit where I'm like, that's fantastic. Every other time when it's time for heart, like the episode I hate is the one that Lisa the substitute. That's just, I hate that episode.
I never quite got the hype around that one. I don't hate it, but I'm just going, it's whatever. I do love the do it for her moment though. That as a dad, it always gets me.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, that's which is what they want.
My opinion changed after I became a father though, I think.
Yeah, and watching it with my son this time, and I know we'll get to the one at the end, I'm picking his favorite episode as one of my 5. And why he likes that episode is like, really? Okay, well, fair enough. But it sort of makes you go, if you can get people across that first line of, don't tell them when this show started. Just don't tell them.
Yeah.
And just let them pick up any episode they want. As long as it's past about 5 or 3, possibly. If they can't get it, I don't know what to tell you. Because this is killing it.
Because a lot of my kids, they like the new ones. I think just because it visually looks better as well. They don't prefer it. They just like watching it. And I say to my wife, I say, me putting on an old Simpsons is kind of like my mum putting on like a Scooby Doo cartoon from the 60s. You know.
Yeah, I know that, and it's such an area. It's a weird. It had that line. Where does that line go? You know the line, the world record line when they show the swimming. It's like that, the end of culture line.
Yeah.
So you go, where is culture ending? As a sort of, I can show this to someone and they won't go, this looks shit. And it's like when I was at the video shop and I was trying to, take home, world's craziest bikers, and the two guys, Pete and Rob, who ran this video stores. They actually just took them out of my hand. They go, no, you're not watching that. And I'm 16 at this point. I go, why? It's hilarious. Look at that. This guy's going to fall off a cliff. And look at that guy. He's dead. And they go, no. But they put those down. Why? Here you go. You can have Monty Python. And now for something completely different, the thing. And you can have this. And you can have Blackadder. And you can watch these. That's what you can watch. That's what you're allowed to watch. And then you can come back and tell us why you like it. And then Spinal Tap.
Pete and Rob sound like fucking bosses.
Well, they were as good as it gets, and that was so crucial. It was so crucial to just going, oh, I see. So there's a different way of finding jokes that is, sorry, but it's better.
Yeah.
And then The Simpsons comes along, and that's the stuff they all like. I mean, they put the guy from Spinal Tap in it for that reason, and you go, oh, I get it, and then you're off, and that's the hope.
This is something I've always said. There's a lot of hype around, or a lot of sort of negativity around gatekeepers. Like, oh, God, we hate them. Yeah, the best gatekeepers aren't keeping you out; they're ushering you in. They're bringing you in through the gates.
Yeah, and this show does that, and there's still so much good stuff that is getting made and does get made, and it can be short form, it can be on TikTok. I don't know, but there's a voice. There's this what I call the YouTube voice of.
We were just talking about it.
I totally relate. You can rant as much as you want about this. I'm totally in the same wavelength.
Are you talking about people who sound like this, Ed?
Yeah, and there's a guy I just rewatching for this. I went on YouTube because I wanted to see the bit where he freaks out, grimy again, just to see that sequence. And there was one where it was like a video of a reaction to this episode. Someone filmed themselves reacting to it. And this man was in his 30s. The fuck do I care? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me that you think that you... Okay. All right. Okay, it's not bad. You've got to be joking.
They're not adding anything. They're adding nothing.
You are subtracting from all of our lives. Everyone involved. Everyone written in yellow. What's a Simpsons font called? It's got a name I can never remember.
I just call it Simpsons font. I know what you mean.
Yeah, Simpsons font. Whatever. Every single person written in that yellow Simpsons font has contributed more to the world in this episode than you will ever do, ever, for all of us.
And they just sit there judging it.
And just dumbly.
Yeah.
So there was the only reason I picked this episode is I was watching it. So the joke that I never got. So I'm sitting there watching with my son, and they go, and he goes to the bar to sort of tell Mo and that there's this guy that hates him, and they're all trying to sort of come to terms with the idea that someone would hate Homer. And then you go, oh, and then he reads out his Mo reads out his enemies list. And Barney says to him, wait a second, that's Richard Nixon's enemies list, right? And I hadn't done enough Watergate or enough Nixon tapes time until now to go, holy shit, that is, and it is his list. And it's just a great joke. That's Richard Nixon's enemies list, a president that is gone for 30-something years when the episode's made.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, people, what are we doing? That is fantastic.
Yeah, but the Simpsons writers really had a hard on for Nixon.
Yeah.
Which is odd because they would have been what, young when he left, right?
When did he leave? Like early 70s?
Yeah, I think 73.
Right. When he flew away in Marine 2, and no one ever saw him again. That's a great joke that I think it's a Louis C.K. joke where he goes, the president just flew away one day, which is true. But yes, you're right. And remember, he's got powerful enemies. When is he? What? Oh, it's in the universe.
That pig had powerful enemies.
It's the pig. The pig had powerful enemies.
You'll pay.
Don't think you won't pay.
Just that paranoia. That 74 he leaves, and it's just their obsession with his paranoia is so funny.
Yeah,
so funny.
Well, and then it moves on to Futurama as well.
Oh, see, I've never really watched Futurama.
See, Richard Nixon is like the main villain of Futurama, essentially. Becomes president of the world.
Wow.
Have you never seen it? Billy West does an incredible Richard Nixon.
I've seen some episodes of Futurama, but Yeah.
It's the genius of Swartzwelder, though, whose name is on this episode. Look, I'm sure there are contributions from The Simpsons right in the room, but I mean, it feels very Swartzwelder in terms of like, this is as black and grim and as incisive as it gets when it comes to like American culture or world culture or whatever.
So do we know if he'd seen Falling Down? Because I'd love to know. Maybe you could ask that. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, but the dude who had the book, who's excellent.
Alan Siegel?
Yeah. Maybe ask him, go, hey, listen, do you know if had he seen Falling Down? Because he looks like him.
Is his personality trait based on the character, or is it just the design of the character?
They're similar.
Okay.
Just very tightly wound.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, why is the world like this when I'm following the rules?
Yeah. Yeah. He attacks LA by himself, as Chuck Klosterman says. But yeah, I'd be interested to know how in the bank Swartzwelder had this and thought, got it, this is the right guy, or if he's watched that and gone, oh, you know what? That's interesting. What if he hates Homer? If he doesn't hate LA, he hates Homer.
I think you were probably about to bring this up because you're scrolling
there
through
you
your
go.
notes. But I was really stunned to discover that one of the first people they were looking at to do the voice of Frank Grubbs was Nicolas Cage.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Because this feels like a guest role, usually.
That's perfect. Yeah, it does actually. It is almost strange when you look it up and you go, oh, okay, one of them did it. And he says he based it on, it's Azaria, isn't it?
No, he does William H. Macy, yeah.
Yeah, he goes for William H. Macy, where you go, no, because H. Macy is on the defensive. H. Macy is like in Fargo, etc. What he's good at, except not in Shameless, but that was way later. But at that point, he's good at being.
He's put upon. He's not.
He's
and
evasive.
Defensive. Yeah, but he's not aggressive like Douglas in Falling Down.
This guy's front foot. So but Cage would have been amazing.
I do find it interesting that they decided not to get a guest star because they wanted someone who's on the cast because they understood the history of Homer's character as well, so they could emote correctly towards why you would be so frustrated.
That is actually a very good point, and as usual, they're right, because the key scene is when he comes to his house.
Yep.
And you live in this palace. My night job at the foundry, I live in an apartment above a bowling alley, which is underneath another bowling alley.
And Homer's like, wow, he wants that.
Now that's the key. The key is that Homer is impressed by Grimy and thrilled by him right to the end.
Yeah.
He's either indifferent. The only bit where he comes out and he looks in and he goes, because I'm Homer Simpson. And Homer goes, you wish. Which he does. But that's such a clever way of keeping Homer in the episode. Because if Homer cottons on early and sort of they become adversaries, like saying like Mr. Plow or something, we got nothing to do.
No.
Grimey's got nowhere to go.
They sort of stack the deck in favor of Homer in some ways by making him not afraid, but like, oh, he doesn't like me? Wait a minute. I want everyone.
This before. He's never had this before.
He's never had an enemy. He's never had anyone go out of their way to dislike him.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everyone can sort of relate to that. I mean, what's that great John Mulaney line where he's like, I want everyone to like me. It's like my wife says, you're like the mayor of nothing.
Yeah, which is it's a good point. But Homer has like all the things that he stacked up when I was on tour with the Smashing Pumpkins and when he met Gerald Ford, etc. And I've been to space you've never been. It's just it's a great reminder too. You go, oh yeah, that's right. There was that episode. Oh, that episode was good too. They're doing a clip show without having to do a clip show.
That's true. Yeah, just adding some context to the back issue of the show,
which they don't love to do. They don't love to do that. They try and make sure that you've got memory wipe at the end of every episode.
Status quo.
So for them to go, oh, no, this happened. You go, oh, that's good. That's interesting. That really helps.
Yeah, it definitely suited this story for sure, yeah. I also think this episode was sort of used just to point out the absurdity, like you said, because we always seen The Simpsons as, I think what appealed to it in the beginning was it was very relatable, but by this point, it was kind of anything but relatable. The characters were relatable, but what was going on really wasn't.
Yeah, and I'd love to know, there's that great... they'll do like the Tudor dynasty or whatever, and they'll show you like, this person reigned till here, and they just have lines, such and such reigned till here, and then Henry VIII took over, and then Elizabeth, like they'll do that. What I'd love to see is a writer's one for The Simpsons, because you go, what's the lifespan of a Simpsons writer to get to the end where you go, do you know what? I don't know. What else have I got here? Because they used to, they talk about that in Seinfeld where they go, oh, they're just after a while.
The tank's empty.
Yeah, we're done. We can't. It's too intense.
It could be that you come up with an idea and then you realise you've already done it.
How much must that happen on The Simpsons?
Oh, now, of course.
Can you imagine? Like the more recent ones, they're still funny. I just don't get... I find it strange. Oh, they're not as good. You go, yeah, but they are. You just don't you can't. It's still because you're also in nostalgia
I was
as
going to say
well.
nostalgia plays a big role.
Yeah, you're a different person when you watch those first ones. Like these are fun. This is a funny episodes. My son's watching sort of set more recent seasons. They're funny.
Yeah.
They're just funny. They're still funny, and that is impossible. 30-something years in.
I think there was a period where, and they call it Jerk-Ass Homer, and we're in season 21 now of the show, going from like in chronological order, and the character of Homer is just so dumbed down. He's not held accountable for any of his bullshit anymore.
What are those ones? So I've heard you say that. When is that? What are some of those episodes?
There is an episode that I always bring up called Codependence Day, where Marge and Homer are driving home from a party, and Homer's been drinking. Marge says, "I'll drive," and he goes, "No, I'm fine." So he drives, crashes the car, bails out of the car, puts her in the driver's seat, and has her cop the result of it. So, and then doesn't be held accountable for it. She apologizes at the end for being so mean to him. That's an episode.
That's like the apex
Yeah.
of Jerk-Ass Homer, but it'd been leading up to that with just he was being dumbed down more and more, it seemed, and no accountability for his actions in this regard. I mean, he's dumbed down in this, but there's a degree of accountability by way of Frank Grimes, sort of calling him out for this, and by extension, calling us out. Like, you're really tolerating this, aren't you guys? Is that what you want? You're really into this?
But putting your wife behind the wheel of a car after you've smashed a drink driving, that's what Homer became.
Righto. I've seen that. This is one of those ones where I'll go, I haven't seen this, and I'll start watching. And I go, yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh, so okay. And then Lisa confronts a famous movie director about the drop in quality his films have taken.
Is that George Lucas one?
Is that? It must be because that's the big
that's
story.
right. They give him another name. They don't call him Lucas, but it's essentially Lucas.
They make him a little person and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that episode was shit.
Oh, and so that's 2004. So what's happening in Star Wars at 2004? We've got the last.
That's in between.
Revenge of the Sith comes out the following year.
That's in between Attack of the Clones and Sith.
All right, so we're right in that midst, the mire of what has he done.
Yeah.
We're right in the midst of what has he done. And, okay, this is an interesting. I'm going to have to rewatch this one because that does read extremely. I often think about the actors. Like, Harry Shearer's very forthright in talking about, I remember him saying, I was walking through an airport in Argentina or somewhere in South America, and I heard my own voice and thought, I'm not being paid for that. He's great like that to go, hang on, this is our likeness, our image. I wonder what they do when they pick up a script like that. I wonder if any of them said, geez, guys, what are we doing?
Harry said, we interviewed him many years ago, Harry, and Harry said there was a moment where, in better terms, he basically said, I stopped caring, was when he said, Flanders wouldn't say this. And they said, it doesn't matter. And he goes, I realized they were writing jokes and assigning it to characters as opposed to getting a character and writing a joke for them.
Oh, that is very interesting. Okay, because I heard an interview with one of the producers once, and he said something very interesting. One of those guys at the start, those really rich guys.
Yeah.
There's the guys at the start are really rich, and the dudes at the end are somewhat rich. The guys at the start are really rich, and one of them said he was very into animal welfare and whatever.
Sam Simon.
That's Sam Simon. Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard him talk about this? Where he goes, his wife said to him, "Oh, hey, what are you doing? You paid for like some giant horse thing somewhere. You've spent all our money." And he goes, what day is it? She goes, it's Wednesday. He goes, no, what date is it? She goes, the 8th. And he goes, 8th. He goes, oh, okay. Yep. Simpsons check arrives on the 14th, so we'll be rich again then. It's a great line, and it's a great story, and even if it's half true, it's wonderful. It stuck with me. It really stuck with me, that line.
Also, that wife turned out to be Jennifer Tilly, so I think Sam Simon was doing all right for himself.
Oh, is it Jennifer Tilly?
Yeah, that was his wife, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, here we go. We're all learning something.
Yes, we are.
Had fun, learn a little something too.
This episode here, though, as I was saying, very divisive. I love going back through the forums from the 90s when season 7, 8 of The Simpsons was on, and everyone's saying, the show's no good anymore. They need to cancel it. What happened to our beloved show? And this is season 7, 8 of The Simpsons, right?
Well, there's everything you need to know.
Yeah.
There is everything you need to know. It's like going back and reading reviews of Shakespeare from people who, from local wags that saw it and said that, geez, King Lear banged on for a while. So, there is no value in review. I'm doing this thing. SBS is doing a really smart thing at the moment where they're replaying old David and Margaret movie show episodes. And the really strong impression you get is this was a complete waste of time. He hated the castle.
Hated Romper Stomper.
God rest his soul. He sort of walked it back over the journey, and you don't have to love the castle. That's fine, whatever. But it's just the other day. It's just like, oh my goodness, you're right. review and criticism in that where you're not trying to push the ball forward in any way is a complete waste of time. And that must be like those forum people. What was their best case scenario? Like, what's a home run? If you're a forum person,
what was good at that time?
but also like, what's a home run for a forum commenter?
Yeah.
What is a home run?
It used to be writing first, like you were the first commenter.
Oh, is that the thing? You go first. So if you were first, so you thought of something first.
Oh, just saying the word first.
You were the first comment on the thread.
I'm the first person here. Yeah.
Just saying first. Not even saying anything.
Yeah,
the comment is first.
Real Algonquin roundtable in the forums.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
You still see this shit on YouTube. We put a video up and it's just like first. And I'm like, cool, nice work. Thanks for the contribution.
By the way, Ed, as someone who used to make a living as a film critic, my mighty heart is breaking. I'll be in the Humvee.
well, then let me ask you then. What do you think? Because I've got a rule. That I've tried that I think should be enforced. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be allowed to review a film until you've made one.
Does this count sex tapes?
Well, of course. That's what I meant. I did an art history degree at uni, right? And it was at Sydney University, and it was a 3-year degree, and I got it just under 6 years. So I came in under the wire, and that was just an excuse to be there to go and meet people and do comedy, etc., which it sort of turned into. But you know, I'm good in the gallery. My wife and I went and saw The Impressionist the other day. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty good in this gallery. But you realize, you go, well, so what?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So my question to you, as someone who made a living reviewing films, which outlets? I
was with the paper down here, The Advertiser, but I also did a TV guide that was syndicated around the country, a few other places as well.
So The Advertiser, right? So
yeah.
Let's say that you're a reviewer for The Guardian today.
Mm-hmm.
You know before you start watching something what you have to give it.
That scans.
You have to.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain things that have to get 5 stars, and there are certain things that, if The Guardian is to maintain itself, have to get 1. So in The Advertiser, how did you sift all right, what are we doing here? It's like, because you are someone who likes things. So how did you sift which things were going to be canon for Advertiser readers and viewers?
I like to think they actually gave me a fair bit of leeway in that regard. I mean, I didn't really get the word from up top. It's like, okay, new Australian movie, or say new 20th Century Fox product, given the owner of the Advertiser. I was never sort of given a directive in that sense. I mean,
you would have had a sense in your mind. So you're not going to go and watch, give me some years that you did it. I
was from mid-90s to mid-2010s.
Which is amazing time, because there are so many good films.
Absolutely.
Let's say you went and saw Adaptation. So I know that if I'm on Triple J, I've got to give it 5 stars and pretend I know something, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Okay, all right, I'll talk about Adaptation. Fuck, what am I going to do here?
Yeah, it's a weird thing, because I mean, I sort of recognized I'm not really doing in-depth film criticism here. I'm not going to cinema or something like that. I'm basically doing a consumer report about what you're going to watch on a Saturday night.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's a great service. That's different. That is a different service, because that is the sift.
Yeah.
And we need people who help more than anything now, the sift. That's a different service. That's a great service.
Yeah, but by the time Adaptation came out, which was like 2002 or whatever, I like to think the people who were reading my stuff realized, okay, guy likes this, I can trust him on this. I mean, I had friends who were saying, I like reading the reviews because I know what not to watch, because your taste and mine are completely dissimilar.
Which is perfect. Yeah. That is a worthwhile exercise in the sift, what I call the sift, versus just this is shit or this isn't, or knowing the bias of the thing before you go into it.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, you don't want to be a snob, but you don't want to be sort of down talking either. You don't want to be saying, well, folks, go enjoy Independence Day, I guess.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. That's key. Like, what about something like Armageddon?
Yeah.
Or, do you know where the rubber hits the road with this? Con Air.
I was a kid in Con Air. I loved Con Air, but
it's the best.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. Yeah, I mean,
yes.
It knows exactly what it's trying to be.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's coherent.
And it's a little bit smarter than it needs to be, but it also just hits you in the pleasure center, because that's its job.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly right.
we're going to
Yeah.
throw Dave Chappelle out of a plane. Sorry, spoiler for Con Air, folks. But, you know, and Nicolas Cage is going to speak in this weird drawl, and Malkovich is going to chew the scenery. But at the same time, you know, you've got that line where they're introducing Ving Rhames' character, and he's like, yeah, he wrote his revolutionary manifesto in jail. They're looking for Denzel for the lead. It's like, that's
Great.
fucking funny, and that's smart. And, you know, that's smuggling the dog medicine and the peanut butter is what it's doing. So,
Which
yeah.
is getting back to The Simpsons. No one
Sorry,
does it
we better get back to the Simpsons.
No, but the point being that no one does it better than they do. And that's
No.
what this episode is. That's why I bring it up, because no one does it better than they do over a long period of time. And that's why I was interested when you talk about Homer, where it sounds like, I wonder if, and what Harry Shearer said there is very instructive, because that makes you go, all right, that attitude times 10 people, and you can lose the idea of the sort of gauge of what Homer's up to. That's how it could happen.
Yeah, because so many times recently, haven't we said, that's a funny line. It doesn't really suit that character, though, does it? But it's just, and it feels like recently, like we say recently, season 21, they picked that, it's like the writers' room have their favourites for the season. So Sideshow Mel in like season 19, 20 appeared in like every single episode with a big monologue. And you're like, this guy appeared in like 10 episodes in the golden era, and now he's in every episode?
Well, his best joke is when Bart is, I think he's the one where he's the preacher, and he's dancing down the aisle, and
Faith Off, yeah.
Faith Off, and Sideshow Mal stands up and says he's kicking it old school.
Yeah,
like that. That's the Sideshow Mal's joke, is to be contemporary in a Shakespearean
In a
voice.
stuffy voice, yeah.
But when he's doing it every episode, it's sort of just, it was bizarre.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do love about The Simpsons, though, again, is that I feel like they introduced me to so many key elements of pop culture without me even realizing it. There are so many moments where you're watching it going, as a kid, I don't know what's happening here, but this has to be something.
Yeah.
And I've heard a few people on your guests on your show say, and you know, even yourselves, that when you watched it initially, if you watched it with someone older, and something they laughed at that you didn't understand. And my son, one of the things I love with my son is I made a stupid rod for my own back. Was when he was, started to talk and ask. I said to myself, I will never say I don't know to him. If he asks me something, I will never say I don't know. So I'll say I'll either know it, or I'll say all right, and then we'll work it out. Because I've got the whole world, I've got everything that's ever been known ever in my pocket. I have no right to say to him I don't know, because that's just laziness to not look into the machine that knows everything ever and tell him.
Yeah, but did you forget about the boundless curiosity of a young child?
That's the issue. I'm like a fucking town librarian. I am all day. I'm like the JFK Records Act every fucking day, because I am down in the weeds of this kid. And sadly, he's got a bit of my pedantry about him, which is, tough going for all of us. But it's like meeting myself. It's awful. And where he's the greatest, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, this must be what it must be around, to be around me. So then he...
Karma in a 3 foot tall
but
body.
that's why I love him so. But anyway, he's the greatest thing of all time, of course. As is my daughter, who's 3 years old, and my secret family. They're nice too. So they, I never say no. So we watch. Pause. Daddy? Who's Richard Nixon's? Is that Richard Nixon's enemies list? I'm like, yep, okay, that one I know. So no worries. Every time we're just watching, and he's just, Daddy, what's this? Daddy, what's that? Daddy, what's this? And I love it. Yeah. Because I am thrilled by the idea of going, okay, well, they're referencing a movie where this happens, or that's because this person used to do that, or that's based on this person. I love it.
And he's interested.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so fun to sit there with him and just sort of, pick the references as we go. It's so fun.
There's nothing better than being able to teach, except being able to teach someone who really wants to learn.
Yeah, exactly. And while we're laughing.
Yeah.
While we're laughing, it's just, he just laughs about it.
Does he ever turn to you to sort of go, was that funny? Like my son, I find something, I'm watching it and I'm laughing, he sort of look at me and he goes, oh, that must be funny, I'm going to laugh as well.
Well, that was Nixon's enemies list.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I laughed, and he goes, who's that? And I go, all right, here we go. Nixon, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
No, favourite moments, it's when Grimy rocks up to the house, and just that, the dishevelled nature of Grimy, that he's going to another job and that the family's all lined up and everyone's perfect. It's this tiny moment where he goes, Simpson, I have to get to my job, da, 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 tit. And he stops, he goes like that, and he goes, look at this house. Yeah. I love that bit, because it's just so, it's funny, but it's just so, it's perfectly written, it's perfectly timed, it's just so perfect.
One of my favorites is an immediate follow-on from that, where he's like, how can you afford to live in a house like this? And Homer's like, don't ask me how the economy works.
Don't ask me how the economy works. It's so spot on.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The opening montage to get us to know what grimy is like is just
Abandoned by his parents at the age 4.
heaven. It's just heaven.
Delivering presents to more fortunate children.
Delivering presents to more fortunate children. I mean, you're never going to write a joke as good as that. You can just hope that at some point you're close.
Pitching himself to feel pain again.
Helping himself to feel pain again. Oh, man, that is... And then the first part of the dog, get me that dog, and then the dog's barking at Grimy when he's cross with him.
Yep.
That is...
Threatening him with a job they didn't even ask for in the first place.
A job he didn't want. That's just so wonderful. And I tell you what else is really good in the B story.
Yeah.
When Bart wanders past the thing, what can I get for lot number 721? A buck. The auction. The phrase a buck, and then the little auctioneer going off.
Yeah, that's Azaria as well, by the way.
Is that Azaria?
Yeah. So. I'm just looking at Dando's notes here under favourites, and we've both got. Hey, a stretch. What's the good word? I don't know. I don't know why that tickled me so much.
Because Homer's like, he's not being a jerk. He's trying to be nice.
No,
yeah, but I can see how that would get incredibly irritating.
Hi, stretch. What's the good? Yeah, that's a really good joke as well. So that's the key. And then of course everyone's favourite moment. When Grimy, or Grimy, as he prefers to be called, as he's being lowered into the coffin, change the channel, Marge, and everyone starts laughing.
Yeah.
That is, my son really laughed at that, and I really laughed at that. And you go, because that's one of those things where they've written it so well that you're thinking to yourself, how are they going to get themselves out of this one?
Yeah.
And then watching my son go, oh, he died. Yeah. And then he laughs at change the channel, Marge. Change the channel, Marge.
What does Swartzwelder say about the death of Grimy? Because he wrote the episode, obviously.
Grimy was asking for it.
Yeah, see, classic Swartzwelder. One of the great things about him is you will never pin him down to sincerity.
No.
And that is just such a fresh air. In my dream in life is that he gets forced to go on one of those shows that I call Millionaires Whinging, where rich people go on podcasts to cry about how vulnerable they are. Oh. That is my dream.
Put him on Diary of a CEO.
Mate. Diary of a fucking CEO. So that to me is, that's one thing I love about him. And that is such a 90s attitude. That is a 90s attitude done to perfection.
Yeah.
That sort of don't want to sell out, even though I'm a zillionaire, staying mildly, what's the word, cantankerous, but not being an asshole about it. Which is what I've heard Conan speak about it before. Conan talks about how it was the worst time of his life, but it was the best time of his life. Yeah. But you realise with Conan, because he's such a crazy, goofy, affable fellow, that the discipline which he talks about that was drummed into him in those years, while he retained that zaniness, is just so great. That's why his episodes are so good, I think, because it's his insanity and zaniness butting up against the Swartzwelders of this world that just go, nah, it's got to have an edge to it. It's got to have a bit of cantankerous to it. And so, but you don't lose any spirit when you do it. In the Conan episodes, I think, have the best supplementary characters that we get.
So what do we get? Lyle Lanley, Laura Powers.
Yeah.
And the three nerds. Is that who you would call?
The dean.
Oh yeah,
like it's
plays
just,
bass.
He played bass with Steely Dan or the Pretenders. Yeah.
If you want to, and straight away you go, well, now I'm going to look up the Pretenders.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the Pretenders were. My boss Pete was a music nerd, so he told me who the Pretenders were, and then we would watch a Pretenders thing. I didn't know who the Pretenders were. Then he showed me.
That's the thing when they throw in gags like that. I mean, I've forgotten which episode it is, but. Martin Prince has some gag where it's like, our first caller gets 10 tickets to Supertramp.
Supertramp, and everyone laughs. And having done commercial radio, I'm like, that's me. I have done versions of that. Well, let's not forget that when the Flanders loses this house, and they have to go to the thrift shop to get clothes, is it Todd's in a butthole surfer?
Yeah.
Look, Daddy, I'm a surfer. Yeah. And of course you go, that's funny. Okay, they had that one single, and apart from that, they were like an anarcho-simulist commune who played weird jam music, which, something that Closterman brings to mind. And you go, yeah, and then you go, oh, that's funny. And then you subsequent reading, years later, reading something Closterman wrote, you go, yeah, and they forced them to abbreviate it to the B8 surfers when it was on radio. And you go, so that's a 6-level joke, which is as good as it gets.
Oh, yeah.
Another moment for me is super relatable, not even in the A plot, it's in the B plot, and it's relatable as I get older. As a kid, didn't quite get why this was funny, but Milhouse just walking around saying, so this is my life.
This is my life. It's like, you guys talk a lot about things that get memed, and of course the number one is the through the, which
the
is
hedge.
weird. Through the hedge is, one day I'd love someone to do a really good, smart, definitive, how the fuck did Through the Hedge become the meme to end all memes?
I'm the same with steamed hams. I don't quite get why.
It's not a funny joke, but it's a great reaction.
It's a gif, yeah.
Yeah, but how did it go from that in a Simpsons episode to like a world star of gifism?
Now it's a Funko Pop.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'd love to. Anyway, I'd love that.
Yeah,
I'd love to know that. Oh, also Conan wrote the New York episode, which didn't make my list, but should have.
No, you knew at the 3, didn't he?
Yeah, because he wrote the city of New York versus Homer.
No, that was like season 8. He left in like season 4.
I thought he wrote 9. I thought he wrote some of that one for 9. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe he contributed to it. Yeah, but he's a sole writer on. Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, but that's got the world's greatest joke in it. Give me I need a drink. I got a Mountain Dew or
crab juice.
Crab juice. Ugh, give me a crab juice. And then years later, that guy in an episode where he's got a crab juice and hal-halash empire around America.
Yep.
Come on.
So good.
Come on. Like who's got that institutional memory? They're sitting there, they're going, we need someone who sells food, and someone goes, you know what? What if the guy from 15 years ago who sold hal-halash and crab juice on a street vending machine, now, like who is the person? You guys can find this out for me, and I'd love you to let me know. Who is the person who holds the institutional memory at The Simpsons as it stands?
Al Jean.
I would love. Is it Al Jean?
Yeah. Because he's the guy they go to, and he'll go, oh, we did that in like episode 7402, season 12. We can't do it again.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's Al Jean who does that.
Yeah. Because he was there at the start, and he left for a while to do the critic, and then he came back.
Critic's great.
Yeah.
It stinks. It stinks.
There's a whole backstory between the critic and versus the Simpsons where Matt Groening was not a fan. Because that's because they brought the character onto the Simpsons.
Yeah. I know. It's a bit dodgy. Yeah. That's one of those who came up with this scenario. Yeah.
But final one for me is that I do love the Smithers. Smithers' gay gags from the golden era, which were just subtle enough where if you were a kid, you didn't really know what was going on. But when Ralph brings out the Malibu Stacy dream house, it's pretty good, sir.
It's pretty good, sir, is a great joke. It's pretty good, sir. That is.
That's a good Smithers.
Do you know when I realized? When I got that joke, I remember the exact moment where I was like, "Oh, I think he might be gay." I can't remember which episode it is, but you'll tell me. When they turns on Smithers' computer and he's
Lisa versus Malibu Stacy.
Lisa, yeah. Hello, Smithers. You're quite good at turning me on.
You probably should ignore that.
Yeah. Now, because it's up to me because I've got to go and do a thing in a minute. So here's I'm going to leave you with. I'm going to tell you my
marathon. Yeah.
Marathon. Then I'm going to leave you with the joke that is currently inspiring a show that we are trying to make. Me and people who know that I reference every day when we're doing it, and even send them the video. The Simpsons joke that changes everything. Here we go. So mine is monorail because you have to have monorail.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I'm sorry, but it's just the way it is. The other day I heard someone get on a soccer show get something wrong about the Simpsons episode. Mate, I was close to a forum post. I was that fucking close. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? And I know the guy that does the show, and I almost text him like, "Whoa, wait, what have you become?" A Star Is Burns, the film,
with the critic,
thing, as a film critic, because it's got my son's favorite joke in it. Can you guess what my 7-year-old son's favorite Simpsons joke so far is?
Man getting hit by football?
Is it George C. Scott getting hit in the nuts? Yeah. Groin.
Football in the groin.
Yeah, my son loves it too. He loves the sound effect. Doink.
Doink. The doink is perfect.
And Homer's follow-up laugh absolutely is just the button.
Takes him a second to get it.
Yeah.
And then my son is helpless. So we'll play football outside, and then I'll just pretend to get hit in the groin. I go, football in the groin. And he is helpless. Homer the Great, you have to. You just can't, if you don't love the Stonecutter, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't help you if you don't think that's the best thing that ever happened.
Our supporters on Patreon are our Stonecutters. That's what we call them.
Oh, that's perfect. Homer's enemy, and then Homer Badman is my.
Ooh,
is my
yeah, that's fantastic. Rock bottom.
It's just so. It's like it's so.
It's starring Dennis Franz.
Dennis Franz is in that. Yes.
Running over a cat.
It's just it's got every. Once again, take the date off it, change the aspect ratio, polish it up, put it out today, and you'll be hailed as a genius.
Oh, yeah.
It's more relatable now than it was then, mate.
Don't take your anger out on me.
It's 1994. How did they?
Yeah, amazing.
And I'll leave you with this. So
Brilliant marathon, Ed. Well done.
So Talking Krusty is in the Lisa versus Malibu Stacy, right?
Yeah.
And so please put this in after I wander off now. So Lisa is about to go and record Lisa Lionheart. Boom, the door opens. Krusty's in a tennis uniform. Hey, all right, and he runs to the thing. He's got a cigar. Hey, okay, here we go. Talking Krusty lines. Hey, I'm talking Krusty. Take two. Side your mouth. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm done. And he leaves. And you hear the car go, and then they pan back, and the guy is putting the reel on to record it. And he says, okay, Krusty, we're ready to... Krusty? And Krusty's gone. So we're trying to make this show, and there's got a lot of cameos in it. And I've been testing this thing. It's called Talking Krusty. If you've got someone who you're asking for their time, and they're giving you their time, which is great, your only job is to be ready for when they get there. That's it. That's all you got to do. If you're ready for them, then let them get the fuck out of there because they've got whatever it is.
They're busy.
Yep.
And so you go, oh, good. Talking Krusty is such a great metaphor for just just hurry up. Hurry up.
Life lesson. Learn from a professional, kid.
Learn from a professional kid. Because he's right.
Yeah.
Lisa's umming and ahhing and wasting everyone's fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, he's right. Krusty is right.
Yeah.
Side your mouth.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much, Ed. I know you're a very busy man. We do appreciate you being here this week. And all the best for everything that comes in 2025.
Well, it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much for having me. It's a great show. I love that you're doing it. It's just such a great thing to be celebrating, and long may it continue, because it's. I'm loving the interviews you get. It's really fascinating, even for a Simpsons nerd like me. It's absolutely fascinating. So well done to both of you.
Thanks so much, Ed. Appreciate it.
All the best.
Come back anytime.
Great.
See you later, mate.
Thanks, gents.